Already we have discussed ANOVA one way. Today we are going to discuss ANOVA two way. So already we have discussed ANOVA. What when we can use the ANOVA? If more than two samples you come across with, more than two samples you come across with, you have to use ANOVA. Here two way means we have the two factors. That's why we call it as the ANOVA two way. So in one way we have one independent variable. Here, in ANOVA two way, we have the two independent variables you come across with. We have the two independent variables you come across with. So, categorical variables are also the independent variables. I will explain what is meant by categorical variables like that, which are called the factors in two way ANOVA. So, let us consider income. So, income is there. Similarly, you consider the gender. So, income, let us consider in our college itself. In income of the parents may be a low, middle, high. We can categorize that one into the three types. So income can be divided into the three categories. Again, it is low income and middle income and high income. Similarly, gender also can be categorized into the male and female. Male and female. So now if you come across with the data from our college, so low income, how many male students are there in our college? We have one data, one number is there. So middle income and male, one data. With high income from men, male, we have one more data. Similarly, in female, low income. Similarly, middle income. Similarly, high income. That means we have six data values are there. So we have to analyze this data using the ANOVA two way. That means using the two categorical variables. That means income and gender. Again, income is categorized into low, mid, high. Similarly, gender is categorized into the male, female. And using this data, we have to analyze the data. Okay. Assumptions for two-way ANOVA. Always we have some assumptions about the two-way ANOVA that should be satisfied. Then only we can solve the problem. The first assumption is the populations must be close to a normal distribution. That means population must be close to normal distribution. The population from which we are taking the sample should be a normal distribution. So the population should be a normal distribution. That means next one is the samples must be independent. Next one, population variance must be equal. So the variances of the each population must be equal. The third point. Next one, groups must have equal sample sizes. That means whatever the sample we are drawing, that must be equal. So from one population, you are drawing the sample size five means second also five, third also five. So the first one is a normal distribution. The second one should be independent. Third one is the equal variances. Fourth one is the equal sample sizes. Okay. Next, he will give you the data. What the data he has given is the plots. That means I have a different fertility lands are there. So x1 is one land, x2 is one more land, x3 is one more land, x4 is one more land. So what the data he will give, he will not give this data x1 square, x2 square, x3 square, x4 square, he will never give. So only he will give the sample x1. So the sample x1 means this is the plot x1. This is some land, x1 land is there. So in that one, I have used the nitrogen. So I got the 6 tons of output, let us consider. So if I have used the potash in that same land, I got 7 tons of the yield. If I used the phosphates, I got the 8 tons of yield. Let us consider. So x2. Next to our land is x2. In the x2 land, if I use the nitrogen, 4 tons of output is there. Whatever it may be, that it may be a grapes or vegetables, whatever it may be. If I use the potash, it is 6 tons. If it is phosphate, 5 tons. Similarly, in x3 land, this is the data. In x4 land, this is the data. Only he will give the x1, x2, x3, x4. Only that much data he will give. For my convenience, I have written this one. these x1 square, x2 square, this he will never give. Only he will give the first sample, second sample, and third sample, and fourth sample he is going to give. Okay. What is our aim is whether is there any difference between the fertilizers and whether there is any difference between the yields. So when we use the nitrogen or potash or phosphates, there is no difference that we have to prove whether there is any significant difference between the fertilizers or not. So that means what he wants to say is that if you use the nitrogen, same production is coming. If you use the potash, same yield is coming. If you use the potash, same yield is coming. Then what we can say, there is no difference in the fertilizers. Whichever the fertilizer you will use, you are getting the same yield, same output. One more we have to discuss about this one. X1 is one type of land, X2 is some other land, X3 is some other land, X4 is some other land. So we have to discuss about the lands also. X1, X2, X3, X4. Is there any difference between the lands? So let us consider if a land is there along with the canal, then the yield will be more. If the land is away from the canal, you will get the production of the crop is very less. So X1, X2, X3, X4 are the lands. Is there any difference between the lands also? We have to discuss. Here we have to discuss the whether the fertilizers along fertilizers along the lands we have to discuss. Is there any difference between the fertilizers? Is there any difference between the lands? Okay. Already he has given the data. X1 one sample, X2, X3, X4 sample he has given. Okay. Next, the summation of the X1 is how much? 6 plus 7, 13 plus 8, 21. That I am writing it as sigma x1. Similarly, squaring of this one I am writing is x1 square 36, 49, 64. The summation it is 149. Similarly, x2 summation is 15. Sigma x2 you correct as sigma x2. N2 is nothing but how many how many observations are there in the sample 2. I have only 3, therefore N2 is equal to 3. So similarly in X3 we have the 3 observations, summation is 2. This you call it as sigma 3. Total observations are 3 in X3 sample. Similarly in X4 we have the 3 observations, summation is 24. This 24 is nothing but sigma X4. Similarly this is the column wise summations. Next we have to go for the row wise summations. While doing the row wise summations, 6 plus 4 10, 10 plus 8 18, 18 plus 6 24. That we have to write. Only you have to consider the x1, x2, x3, x4 only. I am not adding the x1 square, x2 square. Remember, x1 6 plus 4 plus 8 plus 6 24. Similarly 7 plus 6 13 plus 6 19 plus 9 28. Similarly the totalings. This is the grand total. Okay. So first what we have to find out is the correction factor. To find out the correction factor, we require the T. Capital T is nothing but the summation. First sample, the second sample, and the third sample, and the fourth sample. So 21 plus 15 plus 24 plus 24 is nothing but 84. Similarly, capital N is equal to N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4. So each sample has 3 items. Therefore, 3 plus 3 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you will get 12. So correction factor is nothing but capital T whole square by N. So capital T, how much you got? 84. Capital T is 84. Therefore 84 whole square divided by 12. 588 you got. Correction factor is 588 you got. Similarly, we have plots wise. So here you come across the previous one is only you have the one way. Here the 2 ways are there. That means column wise you have to discuss. Similarly, you have to discuss the row wise. So column wise means this one x1, x2, x3, x4. Plot wise we have to discuss column wise. SSC, sum of squares between the columns. Sum of squares between the columns we are going to discuss. So this is sigma x1 whole square, sigma x2 whole square. So sigma x1 whole square by n1. That means 21 whole square by 3, 15 whole square by 3. Similarly 24 whole square by 3. Similarly 24 whole square by 3 minus correction factor you have to write. Okay. Sigma x1 whole square by n1. 21 whole square by 3 you have to write. Similarly 15 whole square by 3. 24 whole square by 3. 24 whole square by 3 minus 588 you have to write it. So if you do this one, you are going to get it as 18 SSC. Similarly, fertilizers wise, fertilizers are in the row wise. We have the row wise. So you have to do the row wise also. So row wise count is how much? Row wise count is 24. Row wise count is 24. How many items are there? Observations are in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how much you have to write? 24 whole square by 4. Don't write 3. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 samples if you added you are getting 24. Here in the column wise you are adding the 1, 2, 3 observations. That's why n1 is equal to 3 I have written. So SSR is equal to between the rows means 24 whole square by number of items. How many you have added? 4. Therefore 24 whole square by 4. 28 whole square by 4, 32 whole square by 4. Okay, minus 588. So how much you are going to get it as 8. Okay, you are going to get it as 8. Similarly, TSS. TSS is simple. So you want to remember the formula, you ignore the formula. Simple. How to do that means TSS is 6 whole square, 7 whole square, 8 whole square. Next, come to the second sample. 4 whole square, 6 whole square, 5 whole square. Come to the third sample. 8 whole square, 6 whole square, 10 whole square. Similarly, 6 whole square, 9 whole square, 9 whole square. If you add all the things, you are going to get it as minus 588. You are going to get 36. Next, TSS, the relation between the SSC plus SSR and SSC and TSS is TSS is equal to SSC plus SSR plus SSC. TSS already you know, total sum of squares. So you don't know this value. The remaining values you know. Just to substitute that one. SSC is nothing but TSS minus SSC minus SSR. That stands for 36 minus SSC. Already you know 18. So and SSR is 8. So you left with 10. You left with 10. So SSC is 18, 8, 36 and 10. You remember 18, 8, 36 and 10. So already we have discussed this type of table, generalized table in the ANOVA one way. The same. Sum of squares between the columns means SSC. Sum of squares between the rows is SSR. Sum of the squares residual or error is SSC. This only row is here one more extra. Remaining is as usual. Similarly, total is TSS, total sum of squares. So between the columns, the degree of freedom is C minus 1. So if you have the 3 columns, 3 minus 1 like that. Between the rows, how many rows? We have the nitrogen, phosphate, something else. So 3 rows are there. So like that. Residual error for the 1 degree of freedom is C minus 1 into R minus 1. And for this one degree of freedom is capital N minus 1. Here also mean squares of columns. That's why MSC. MSC is nothing but SSC by C minus 1. MSR is nothing but by SSR by R minus 1. Similarly, MSE is nothing but SSE by C minus 1 into R minus 1. Similarly, test statistic are calculated for column wise. Next to row wise is nothing but MSC by MSC by MSC. Similarly, MSR by SSC. So I will discuss in this one. So between the columns, that means SSC value is 18. Okay. How many columns are there? We have the 4 columns are there. Therefore, 4 minus 1 is 3. So MSC is nothing but 18 divided by 3, 6. Okay. Next you come to this one. Between the rows, SSR is equal to, we have 8. SSR is equal to 8. Degree of freedom is, number of rows is 3. Therefore, 3 minus 1. We have 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. MSR is nothing but 8 divided by 2, 4. Similarly, residual error. Residual error is, we got a 10, and C minus 1 into R minus 1 is 6. So MSC is nothing but 10 by 6, 1.667. Similarly, TSS you got it as 36, and capital N minus 1. So capital N minus 1, total observations minus 1. We have the 12 observations, 12 minus 1 is 11. So now we come, now how to calculate the calculated F. Calculated F, how will you calculate? So MSC by MSC. This is regarding the columns. That's why FC I have written. This is regarding the rows. That's why I have written FR. So calculated F for columns is 6 by 1.667. Similarly, 4 by 1.667. Therefore, you come across it is 3.6. Rows it is 2.4. So the meaning is calculated F for columns. That means plots wise is nothing but 3.6. For row wise, that means fertilizers wise it is 2.4. These two values are the calculated Fs. So remember, calculated F is 3.6 and 2.4 for columns and rows. So now we are going to discuss whether is there any significant difference in the plots. Okay. So tabulated F for 3, 6 degree of freedom is 4.76. Why we have used the 3, 6 degree of freedom? Is in the problem FC is 3.6 you got. So the degree of freedom is here. How much? Numerator degree of freedom by denominator degree of freedom. You have to remember. 1.66 degree of freedom is how much? 6. Numerator 6 degree of freedom is 3. Therefore, 3, 6 degree of freedom. We are finding the tabulated value. It is 4.76. And the calculated F is 3.6. Already you did that one. So if you compare this one, what are the conclusion you are going to get to? Calculated F is less than tabulated F. That means what we can conclude? Column wise, that means plots wise there is no significant difference. Plots wise they are looking equal productions. Plots wise, if you look at this one, they are getting the equal productions. So calculated F is less than tabulated F. That's why plots wise we have there is no significant difference. There is no significant difference between the plots. Similarly, row wise, that means fertilizer wise, is there any difference, significant difference in the fertilizers? Let us consider. Okay, for that one, tabulated F for 2, 6 degree of freedom is 5.14. Calculated F is already we know 2.4. By looking at this one, you can say calculated F is less than tabulated F. Therefore, what is the conclusion? H0 is accepted. That means there is no significant difference between the fertilizers. That means there is, if you have any fertilizers, what I have given among these 3 fertilizers, if you can use any of these 3 fertilizers, the production is coming almost all equal. Similarly, here what is the conclusion we are going to get is that if we have the different plots, 4 plots are there. You use any plot, you are going to get the same production. That means per acre we are getting the 5 tons of vegetables. So in X1, X2, X3 also you are going to get the 5 tons of production. There is no significant difference in the plots. Similarly, there is no significant difference in the fertilizers. So this is about the ANOVA 2A. Just once again, I will briefly go through that one so that you have an idea what is meant by ANOVA. So in ANOVA means we have to go for the more than 3 samples. We will use the more than 2 samples. We will the ANOVA. If you come across the 2 factors, we will use the ANOVA 2A. So next, if you come across with income you can subdivide into the low, high, middle, high. Similarly, gender, if you consider gender, you have the male and female. So we can represent the different values for these values, and you can go for the ANOVA. Is there any difference in the incomes? Is there any difference between the gender? That we have to conclude. So assumptions for 2 ANOVA is a normal distribution should be, the sample must be independent, and the population variances must be equal, and the each sample size should be equal. Okay. Next one, he never gives this x1 square data, and this one for my convenience I have written. He will give the x1 having the 3 observations, x2 having the 3, x3 having the 3, x4 having the 3. Just you sum up the values in x1 sample 21. Similarly, x2 sample you are going to get like this. So summation of the first sample is sigma x1, sigma x2, sigma x3, sigma x4. Similarly, row wise also you have to do the summation. X1 value plus x2 value plus x3 value plus x4 value. You are getting 24. Similarly, 28, 32, and the grand total is 84. So now we have to go for the correction factor. Correction factor means sigma x1. So sigma x1 plus sigma x2, sigma x3, you are going to get 84. Similarly, add the values, n values. So it is, you are going to get 12. Correction factor is nothing but t whole square by n. So you are going to get 588. So here you come across with one doubt. So many people, sir, you are doing that one. So you are doing for the column wise correction factor. If you do the row wise correction factor, how much you are going to get? The same value you are going to get if you go for the row wise also. Suppose 24 plus 28 plus 32, 84. Here also, if you add these values 21, 15, 24, 24, 84 only we are getting. If you add this one also, you are going to get 84 only. Same also, Kaplan also 12 you are going to get here. Each is having how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 values. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12. So correction factor for both column wise and row wise, if you do that one, you are going to get the same correction factor. So plots wise, column wise, you are going to get SSC. That means simple. Sigma x1 whole square by n1, 15 whole square by 3, 24 whole square by 3, 24 whole square by 3 minus correction factor. Similarly, you are getting 18. Similarly, fertilizer wise means 24 whole square by 4, 28 whole square by 4, 32 whole square by 4 minus correction factor. You are going to get it as 8. Similarly, TSS stands for summation of the all squares. Otherwise, sigma x1 whole square. That means 149 plus 77 plus 200 plus 198 minus 588. You are getting it as 36. TSS is nothing but SSC plus SSR plus SSC. From this one you can conclude SSE, that is 10. Similarly, we have a generalized table. From that one you can conclude the values and calculated F for columns, calculated F for rows. Next, from this one you have to conclude the column wise significance or not. Similarly, row wise significant or not. Calculated F is less than tabulated F for plots wise. That means column wise. Therefore, there is no significant difference between the plots. Similarly, if you do that one, calculated F is less than tabulated F. Therefore, there is no significant difference between the fertilizers. Okay, this is about the ANOVA 2A.